What about the Timewyrm?
What indeed? According to this, she's not far away, and we have landed again. Shall we go?
Must we?
I'm afraid so. Unfortunately, those were the innocent days. After that, it got quite nasty.
What's the matter, Professor?
That was the first time I'd ever met Adolf, but when he had that minor fit, I felt I already knew him. Odd, really. Anyway, it should be a quiet night outside.
It's him.
That's right. Adolf Hitler in person. The lad's done well, hasn't he?
What's he doing?
The Führer was paying tribute to the Nazi Party's glorious dead, I expect. The reason doesn't matter. It's the event itself that counts. It's a primitive blood rite. A mixture of religion, politics, and a three-ring circus. Effective, isn't it?
I suppose so, in a nasty kind of way.
It's orchestrated, arranged, pre-planned by someone with a very sophisticated knowledge of the psychodynamics of crowds. Knowledge that doesn't really belong in this century.
He's being helped by the Timewyrm.
I keep telling you, it doesn't feel like her somehow. You've seen her at work. She's about as subtle as your Nitro 9A. This sort of devious, long-term manipulation is a very different matter.
When are we?
I'd say, about 15 or 16 years after that business in Munich. Our Adolf's right on top, as you can see. But I don't think the war started yet, not with all these lights. I think we must be at Nuremberg, one of the big party rallies. They keep it up for days, you know. Parades, war games, torchlight processions. Plenty of marching about, and yelling stops people from thinking. And speeches, of course. Endless speeches. I imagine we're due for one now. Come on.
Hang on. What about the TARDIS?
Good point.
Hey, where's it gone?
It's parked in the space-time continuum.
Oh, don't lose that gadget. This may be a place to visit, but I don't want to live here.
Let's try the upper circle. The upper levels are reserved for party officials. Do you know who I am? Are you aware that I am here at the personal invitation of the Führer? Your pardon, Herr. My name, like my visit, is confidential. You may address me as Herr Doctor. Kindly show me to my box. The best, of course. At once. These boxes taken. Out!
People of Germany, we are being attacked. The scum and villainy of the world are at our doorstep. The filthy Jews are coming to steal our money. The Bolsheviks to steal our freedom. They are subhumans. They must be destroyed. Can any man protect their women and children when they infiltrate our ranks, eat our food, destroy our beautiful country? The filthy capitalists, Americans. I say we must fight against our enemies. They must be rounded up like the animals they are, for Deutschland!
Psychological rape and murder. That's what a German poet called Hitler's speeches.
It was like magic. Black magic.
You saw how he started off unimpressive. If he'd gone on like that, he'd have been booed off the stage at a Brownies meeting. But he didn't, did he? He suddenly kicked into overdrive. And can you remember what he actually said in the speech?
Not really. Just a lot of vague warnings about Germany being in danger.
Who from?
I don't know. Jews, communists, capitalists, foreigners, Salvation Army, little green men, everybody.
Exactly. And can you remember any plans or policies? Anything specific he was going to do about all this danger?
No, just a lot of stuff about blood and soil.
There you are then. He rambles on about unknown dangers and making appeals to some hazy spirit of the race. All nonsense, but it has an effect.
I felt it.
Somehow he's bypassing sense, reason, and logic, and broadcasting basic signals on the psychic wave band. Fear, hatred, paranoia, then togetherness, reassurance, group feelings.
So how's it done?
I think he's being boosted, used as a transmitter. Hands up! You are under arrest!
A magnificent speech, mein Führer. As always, you show us the way forward. We are nothing without you.
Well said, well said.
These gentlemen claim to be a guest of the Führer. Upon his orders, I ejected Herr Essler of the Nuremberg Party Committee from his box. Later, however, at Herr Essler's insistence, I checked the lists and found no mention of such visitor. As the gentleman insists he is the Führer's guest, I thought it best to refer the matter to the highest level.
The story is absurd. I would have been informed. They are undoubtedly terrorist assassins. Take them to Gestapo headquarters. Execute them as soon as they have confessed.
Not so fast, Heinrich. Plenty of time to shoot them later. Let's have a look at them. So you claim to be an old friend of the Führer, eh?
We met in Munich in 1923.
I don't recall seeing you.
And yet I saw you. I trust the wound left no ill effects.
Oh, I survived, as you can see. The doctor's drugs harmed me more than the wound. They pumped so much morphine into me, they turned me into a drug addict. I think we'd better check this man's story. You know how the Führer treasures anyone from the old days.
I tell you, I would have been informed.
Oh, I don't even think the Führer tells you absolutely everything.
What is this?
Nothing.
Mein Führer, this gentleman claims to be an acquaintance from the old days in Munich.
I have no recollection.
Look more closely. Remember a time when you were in pain, in danger, and in despair. Remember someone who eased the pain, took you to safety. I told you that one day you would rule Germany, and that we should meet again.
Ah, so have returned, Doctor, just as you said you would.
And now you rule Germany, just as I said you would.
This man gave me help in my darkest hour. More than that, he gave me hope. He believed in my success.
I knew that you would rule, just as I know now that you have many troubles, many enemies. This is why I have returned.
We shall talk again very soon. The Doctor and his companion are honored guests of the Reich. Let suitable accommodation be found for them here at the Deutsche Hof. Tomorrow they return with me to Berlin.
Congratulations, Professor. You've done it again.
Listen, I'm a wandering scientist and a scholar, and you're my niece. Be as enigmatic as possible, and give the impression that I'm a strange and mysterious character with a number of mystic powers.
Just stick to the truth, you mean?
You're something of a phenomenon, my friend. I've never seen anyone given a welcome like that. What did you do? Save his life?
Well...
Well, I certainly saved your life, Heinrich. You nearly shot the Führer's dearest friend.
I trust you will forgive my initial suspicions. The safety of the Führer is always my first concern.
It is also mine.
I feel like a film star with all these people looking at us, Professor.
Are you interested in a career in the cinema, my dear? With such youth and charm? Why, anything is possible. Allow me to introduce myself. Joseph Goebbels, Minister for Propaganda. The cinema, like all aspects of Reich culture, is among my responsibilities.
Really?
Should we discuss this somewhere more private? In my suite, perhaps?
I don't think so. I'm not really thinking of becoming a film star. That was just a silly joke. My real interests are science and archaeology. My uncle and I have just been making a study of the encryptions of the pyramids, you know.
Another time, then.
Joachim von Ribbentrop, Fräulein. I am foreign minister at the moment, but my happiest time was as ambassador to England. Are you familiar with the court of St. James?
Not really. Have you ever been to Perryville?
Can I assist you, Herr Doctor? I know most people here.
That man over there, the tall white-bearded fellow with the cloak and the stick.
Do you know him?
I'm not sure. He seems familiar somehow.
It's unusual for him to be here. He seldom attends social functions.
Who is he exactly?
Some kind of mystic philosopher. The Führer is very taken with him. Insists on having him on the platform for all his main speeches. Look, he's coming over.
I hope I do not intrude. I felt I had to permit myself a word with our mystery guest. I am Dr. Kriegsliter.
And I am the doctor.
Ah, you are here incognito?
I very much hope so.
And you are a doctor of?
Practically everything. And you?
My field is the esoteric, the unknown. The Führer is very interested in such things. Oh, but then of course you know him well.
We met quite briefly many years ago. I shall be very interested to see in what directions his tastes have developed.
From the warmth of your greeting, I thought you must be old friends.
I was able to be of service to him. I hope I may be so in the future as well.
We must all serve in our different ways. Herr Doctor, I am sure we shall meet again.
It's very strange. I keep getting an odd feeling that we've met before.
I'm afraid your appearance is quite unfamiliar to me, Doctor. And I'm sure you would have remembered mine.
I wasn't talking about appearances.
Perhaps in some other life, then. Do you believe in reincarnation, Doctor?
What do you make of him?
I'm not exactly sure.
Our theory takes up with such people from time to time, but usually tires of them. Have you ever been in service of the state, Doctor?
I suppose I did once hold a semi-official position. I was unpaid scientific advisor to a government security organization.
In Germany?
No, in England.
So much the better. There's an admiration for the English in Berlin. Such an appointment would not be unpaid. A man could do great service to the Reich and to himself. He could have anything he wanted.
Indeed. Fortunately, my wants are few.
Everybody wants something, Doctor. You must come and visit me at Garenhall. Are you fond of hunting?
Not particularly. Now, if you will, my niece and I are tired, and we must retire. I brought this from the TARDIS, high-frequency sonic pulse. They're not catching us out again. We are now unbuggable.
Good for you, Professor. You were a great social success.
Only because I got hugged by Hitler. Everyone was trying to get in with me, to gain the ear of his favourite. Goring seemed to be offering me some kind of job. When it comes to low cunning and high treason, the Nazis have got nothing on the Time Lords of Gallifrey. I'll be at the centre of things, a good place to look around.
For what?
For what I was controlling the Führer, for a start.
Any suspects?
I met a man called Kriegsleiter tonight, the man we saw on the platform.
He looked really strange.
He was. Strange and strangely familiar.
This doctor fellow, what do you make of him?
I'm not sure. What do you think?
It is strange that anyone could be so close to the Führer, and I not know him.
I liked him, quite a formidable personality, in a quiet way. Not impressive to look at, but still, looks aren't everything, eh, Heinrich?
I am not in favor of any new entrant to the Führer's circle at the moment, while this problem continues.
We can't conceal it forever, you know. Suppose it happens while he's making a speech.
According to Dr. Kriegsleiter, he is most vulnerable after a speech, when he is exhausted and his defenses are low.
But the attacks are getting more frequent.
Kriegsleiter is confident that they can be controlled, perhaps by the use of hypnotism, if only the Führer will consent.
He won't. You set great store by Kriegsleiter, don't you?
He is an extremely brilliant man. The work of his Area and Research Bureau is proving immensely vulnerable to the Reich.
It's time you realized the SS is a group of hired killers and not a mystic order of special monks. I have heard what you get up to in that castle of yours. Secret altars, SS chapels.
National Socialism is a matter of the spirit, not just of the flesh.
Tell you what, Heinrich. You provide the spirit and I'll provide the flesh. What are we going to do about this mysterious Herr Doctor?
If the Führer is determined to befriend him, there is little we can do.
Of course, but the continued success of the Reich depends on the Führer.
Yes, and he is going mad.
Herr Doctor.
Come. Yes?
I must apologize for disturbing you at this late hour, Herr Doctor. My name is Bormann, Martin Bormann. I have the honor to be the secretary to the Führer. The Führer
Wishes to see me. As you can see, I am ready and waiting.
If you will come with me, Herr Doctor.
Ah, my good Bormann. Doctor, with Bormann I can work through a pile of dossiers in 10 minutes that would take me hours with anyone else. If I say to him, remind me of something in 6 months' time, I can be absolutely certain he will do it.
I will be at hand if you need me, my Führer.
Doctor, when we met in Munich, in my darkest hour, you told me that the day would come when I should rule Germany. Tonight you said even then that you knew. Just how did you know?
I have travelled greatly over the years, both in space and time. That is how I knew even that your name would loom large in history.
Ah, in the mind, in visions. You are a mystic like the good Dr. Kriegsleiter. And now, here and now, Doctor, can you still see what is to come? Can you tell me my fate 16 years hence, as you did 16 years ago? Well, Doctor, can you see what is to come?
Some things. No one sees everything. You will divide Poland between you and the Russians. Make sure they don't interfere.
How could you possibly know that?
As I told you, some things I can see.
Then tell me this. The British have guaranteed to help Poland defy attack, but I am sure they will not honor their word. I am right, am I not?
You are wrong.
What did you say? How dare you say this to me? Do you realize that you are addressing the supreme ruler of Germany? I can have you shot.
If you only want advice from people who will agree with every word you say, this hotel is full of them. I can only tell you what I know, and as soon as you invade Poland, the British will declare war.
Very well. Then tell me, will the Russians keep their part of the bargain?
As long as you keep yours.
And if I fight the British and their allies, will I defeat them?
Your armies will sweep through Europe in a lightning war. France, Belgium, Holland.
And England. What of England?
That I cannot tell you.
Then I will tell you. If the English scum resist me, I shall destroy them all. I shall annihilate them all. Poland, India, Russia, Asia, all ground under my heel. I shall be supreme ruler of all the world.
I shall destroy this planet! I shall bring down destruction on every planet in the galaxy! I shall destroy the universe! I knew we would meet again, Doctor. Only this time, you do not have your TARDIS to protect you. This time, I shall destroy you!
Get away from him!
Put that away, you fool! The Fuhrer has had an attack of nervous hysteria, a brainstorm.
Should I send for a doctor?
I am a doctor. Has anything like this happened before?
Yes, several times.
When? At what times?
Late at night, when he is tired and alone.
What happens?
Nobody knows. We hear such terrible screaming, and then we find him like this.
Is the room always wrecked?
Always. Destruction you would not believe.
Has there ever been anyone with him before?
Only once. It was at the time of the Czechoslovakian crisis. The Führer was seeing someone from the general staff late at night. The man must have angered him as he began to shout. I heard a terrible scream. The man was dead and the Führer was as he is now.
How did the man die?
The diagnosis was heart failure.
And what was this man like? Old, young, fat, thin?
In his 60s. Rather fat. A general.
I imagine the diagnosis was accurate. The shock of seeing what I've just seen.
The strange thing is, the attacks never come when he is with me, and we are frequently working together late at night like this.
You seem to have a calming effect on him. He will be most vulnerable when he is excited or enraged, especially if he is already tired. I saw for myself tonight. We were discussing plans. He became angry at the English, and this followed.
Yet you survived it? You calmed him?
I did what I could.
Can you help him?
I will do what I can, but I shall need your help. Does he remember anything afterwards?
I do not think so. He never refers to what has happened.
Get him to bed. Get this place cleaned up, and above all, see to it that no one talks.
No one will talk. Tomorrow, it will be as if this has never happened.
Yes, good. And encourage him to remain calm, to avoid stress.
Are you sure he's just not paranoid?
I never got around to telling you, Ace. But I had a similar experience in the false 1951, when I was looking up history changes in the archives. Now, who do we know who's raving mad, racketing around time and space, and obsessed with causing trouble?
The Timewyrm. But if it's her, why aren't we seeing more of her? Why haven't we been attacked or she's destroyed the world or something?
I'm beginning to suspect, Ace, that she isn't in control. What we must do now is keep our heads down the next time she shows herself.
Thousand apologies, Doctor.
Not at all.
If you will come with me, I will see you to your hotel. The papers are valid for Berlin only. I should advise you to remain in or near the hotel. The Führer wishes the Herr Doctor to remain available for consultation at any time.
I'm not sitting staring at the wall.
Quite right. Let's go and take a look at Berlin while it's still here.
Wait, what do you mean, Professor? We should see Berlin while it's still here.
Hitler's determined to invade Poland. Very soon there will be war. In 6 years, this city will be a heap of rubble.
You've got all this influence. Can't you stop it? Hey, what's this for?
Oh, just a parade. But I don't see you saluting the flag. You said something about my stopping the war. It's the war that will destroy this evil regime. My first problem is to make sure the war happens. The second is to make sure they lose. Let's forget about them for a bit. We'll go sit in the park.
No Jews! They're not allowed to sit on park benches.
They're not allowed to do a lot of other things. Run businesses, practice their professions, have their own money or property. Most of the real persecution is over now, but only because there's no one left to do it to. Most of those that didn't leave the country are dead or in prison camps by now. And it's not just the Jews, though they got the worst of it. Gypsies, homosexuals, trade unionists, intellectuals, anyone a bit different. Anyone they don't like the look of. They've had concentration camps in Germany for 6 years. Up to now, they've been persecuting their own people, and they're just about to start on the rest of the world. There's a report of Hitler's speech to the Reichstag. He has resolved to speak to Poland in Polish. Invasion going well? Well, there's Goebbels for you. Apparently he said from now on he's just a simple soldier of Germany, and he won't take off his soldier's coat until the war is won.
Bully for him. It'll get a stink in 6 years.
The Führer wishes to see you at the Chancellery, Herr Doctor. The car is waiting. Just the Herr Doctor, Fräulein. These are serious affairs of state. Men's affairs.
Now listen, mate.
Steady on, Ace. Nazism equals sexism, I'm afraid. Church kitchening kids, that's a woman's natural sphere. Isn't that right, Herr Bormann? I'll be back as soon as I can. Better stay in the hotel. I have a message for Herr Doctor.
You've just missed him. He's popped down to the Chancellery to give Adolf some advice. Leave it with me. Aryan Research Institute. I so much enjoyed our recent meeting. We have much to discuss. Do please call. Right, well I might just have to get to see this guy.
You ought to run a bus service along here, or at least issue bicycles. Roller skates would be a help, but it's too big to walk.
I do not think.
An excellent idea, Doctor. Get onto it. Will you, Martin? I'd like to see our little Heiny roll on roller skates.
The Führer is waiting.
Well, Doctor, what say you now? It is 2 days since my armies entered Poland, and its conquest is almost complete. What do the British or the French, for that matter, say or do? Nothing! Admit it! I was right, and you were wrong!
What is the date?
September the 3rd.
And the time?
Exactly 1 minute to 9.
Then I ask you to wait. Just that 1 minute. Wait here in silence. There is a communication from the British ambassador, but maybe I shouldn't?
You may speak freely before Dr. Schmidt.
This is my interpreter. His name is also Schmidt, as it happens. We are a numerous family. Shall I have him translate the message?
Of course. Let me play the prophet for once, Herr Doctor. Let me tell you what is in this message. It will be a formal note of protest concerning my invasion of Poland. They will deplore, they will protest, they will whine, they will plead. But what will they do? They will do nothing. They did not fight over Czechoslovakia, and they will not fight over Poland.
My Führer.
Silence! The message, please, Schmidt.
Has the honor to inform you that numbers no later than 11 a.m. today, September the 3rd, satisfactory assurances have been given by the German government that all German troops will be withdrawn from Poland. A state of war will exist between Great Britain and Germany as from that hour.
Don't you know it's Sunday? We're closed.
I've got an invitation.
You're not the doctor.
I'm his niece. He was unavoidably detained.
Dr. Kriechsleit has been called away as well.
Right then, it's just the two of us. Any chance of a look around?
All right. Come in then if you really want to.
Thank you very much.
I assume the French will hand in a similar ultimatum within the hour.
Get out! They told me the English would not fight.
Who told you? The Black Coven?
They said it would be easy. Like Austria, like Czechoslovakia. What shall I do, Doctor?
You must fulfill your destiny.
My destiny. They dare to send me an ultimatum. Me! I shall destroy them. I shall annihilate their miserable island now! I shall destroy them all. Everyone, everything shall be destroyed!
Listen to me, Adolf Hitler. Listen to my voice. There is a great power within you, but it must be controlled or it will destroy you. Control it with your will.
The will! The will! My will must triumph.
My apologies, my Führer, but there are a number of urgent matters here which demand your attention. Progress on the Polish front is far from satisfactory. Warsaw has not yet fallen. Only you can ensure victory, my Führer.
So all right, von Ribbentrop.
My Führer?
Tell the British ambassador that the ultimatum cannot be received or accepted, let alone fulfilled. Bowman, order my special train. I shall leave for the Polish front immediately and take personal charge. Zoe will accompany me.
There you are, young lady. One of the finest collections of Aryan folk material in the country.
I'm sure it is.
Tell me about your uncle.
Who?
The doctor. Your uncle. Who is he? Where does he come from? What does he want here in Germany? Tell me. You must answer. Why is the doctor here?
Aren't you being rather rude? If you're so curious about the doctor, you can talk to him yourself. I'm sure he will be visiting you very soon.
Please forgive me, I have heard so much about this doctor. You see, naturally I am curious. Please feel free to look around. I must get on with my work.
He was trying to hypnotize me. Blood sacrifices. Why would there be a book on blood sacrifices?
She's here now. Not the doctor, just the girl.
And what has she told you?
Nothing. I tried. She has a strong will. Did you see the Führer? Was the doctor there?
I was delayed at the castle. By the time I reached the chancellery, the Führer was about to leave for Poland. He refused to see me.
And the doctor?
He seems to have disappeared.
A word with you, Doctor. Into my office. If we lose the war, may God have mercy on us, and we shall lose if he remains in charge. Don't worry, Doctor, I'm not risking my head or yours. This office is checked for microphones several times a day.
Ah, mutual trust is a wonderful thing.
Oh, we're a happy band of brothers, all right. Now, listen to me, Doctor. Adolf Hitler is a genius, but he is also a madman. You're a cautious one, Doctor. Still, I don't blame you. The news has brought on us a fit, didn't it?
There was the beginning of a particularly severe one.
Which you helped him to control. Don't deny it, Doctor. I saw you. If he isn't controlled, someone else must take charge.
Someone like you?
If necessary, yes, it would be my duty to the Reich. I need someone close to the Führer, someone who can report to me on his condition, and if it deteriorates beyond control, someone to help me take the necessary action.
Ah, I must be going.
We understand each other then, Doctor?
Oh, yes, we understand each other. What do you know about the Black Coven?
You're full of surprises, Doctor. Where did you hear of them?
From the Führer.
They're supposed to be top secret. Something to do with the That's not my responsibility anymore. They harness mystic forces or something. Little Heinrich is very keen over that mumbo-jumbo. Why do you ask?
I think they may be influencing the Führer's condition. Very possibly for the worst.
You mean Heinrich's using them to try and control the Führer?
Something like that.
I thought as much. He's a sneaky little bastard. See what you can find out, but be careful. He controls the police, the SS, and the Gestapo, and if they get their hands on you, even I won't be able to help.
How do you do, my dear? I am Dr. Kriegsleiter. You were wondering about the reasons for my somewhat extraordinary appearance, I assume?
Among other things.
It is due to a misfortune I suffered at birth. Or, rather, at rebirth.
Sorry about that.
This is a most unexpected pleasure. I'm only sorry our uncle cannot be with us. It seems he has dropped out of sight.
I expect he'll pop up. He usually does.
He does indeed. Sometimes with the most disconcerting results. We met once before. In a sense, I owe my present condition to the doctor.
But if it happened at birth...
Rebirth. And what do you think of our little library?
Rubbish. Dangerous rubbish.
I couldn't agree more. The precious Aryan race doesn't even exist. It's a myth.
Then why bother with all of this?
It's what the public wants. Himmler has an endless interest in all this racial gibberish. He'll pay you a fortune to investigate anything. It's useful.
Then what is your motive?
Oh, shall we say influence?
Power, you mean?
Ugh, if you like. Himmler's a gullible fool, but he's the most powerful man in the Reich.
Except for Hitler.
Indeed, which brings us back to the doctor. You're sure you don't know where he is?
No, I don't. I'd better go and look for him.
No, don't do that, my dear. I've a better idea. Simply stay here with us. The doctor's bound to come and find you in time.
I like my idea better.
But I don't.
Please move out of my way. I'm leaving now.
A simple piece of laser technology. You first encountered it in Munich, if you remember. 16 long years ago for me. But perhaps rather less for you. Please don't move, my dear. I'd much rather keep you in one piece, at least till the doctor arrives. I've waited a long time for this moment.
Are you the Herr Dr. Johann Schmidt? Yes, I have my paper. Get in the car. You're coming with us. On what authority? Gestapo. Ah, of course.
We must come to an understanding, Herr Doctor. I have certain questions and you will provide answers. Perhaps I should tell you that there are cellars beneath this building. I am sometimes forced to send people there. When they return, they invariably tell me everything I want to know.
If they return?
Unfortunately, that is always a possibility. However, let us hope such unpleasant extremes will not prove necessary. You will begin by giving me an account of your conversation with Right Marshal Goering earlier today.
He is concerned for the Führer's health. He knows of certain unfortunate episodes brought on by the strain and fatigue the Führer must undergo.
The Führer is a saint. He thinks only of the Reich. He never spares himself.
Such dedication takes its toll. Thanks to my studies, I have some understanding of these problems. When such an episode was triggered this morning by the British ultimatum, I was able to assist the Führer to control himself.
But they said that was impossible.
Who? The Black Coven? They told you his condition could only worsen, though one day it would be necessary to replace him.
Never! I would never contemplate the slightest disloyalty to the Führer.
Ah.
However, they did say that one day it might be necessary to relieve the Führer of his intolerable burdens. Time for him to rule as a king, while other hands took over the daily cares of office.
And that person would of course be you?
He would always be our true leader, our revered, our beloved Führer, Herr Doctor. You have gone too far to turn back. You must tell me who you are, and how you know the deepest secrets of the Reich.
Reichsführer, may I ask you a question? A question of vital, indeed, of cosmic importance.
Continue.
Do you believe in the higher powers?
I do.
Do you believe in the great work? Do you follow the quest for the Holy Grail? Are you initiated into the secret doctrine of the Golden Dawn? Do you believe in the cosmic ice, in Atlantis, the secret home of the master race?
I believe in all of this and more. Are you too one of the elect, Doctor? one of the bearers of secret knowledge.
I am.
Of course, the Great Ones have sent you to watch over the Fuhrer. You were there to aid and sustain him in Munich, moving silently amongst us. And now, at the time of his greatest trial, you return. Doctor, you must come to my castle.
Ah, Drakensberg.
My castle, dear. It is the sacred tower. We must confer and decide what is best for the Reich. If, as you say, the Fuhrer can be completely cured, then I shall be happy to change my plans.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Unfortunately, I have direct orders from the Führer to remain in Berlin awaiting his return. I must return to my studies.
Of course. Guards, see the Herr Doctor has everything he needs.
A car to the Hotel Adlon, please. And make it snappy, will you? I haven't got all day. Black Coven diverting the course of history, the attack on us at Munich, the familiarity of Kriegslieder. He must be. Ace, where are you? Sorry I've been so long. I got hijacked twice. Ace? Professor, message arrived after you left. Gone to see the doctor. Kriegslieder. Oh dear, Ace. Right, Aryan Research Bureau. Hello? Anyone about? Ace? Crystal ball a bit odd. A few scenes for rich old ladies. A bit of crystal gazing. Ah, a note. Ace is in our hands. If we choose, we can kill her.
Just my luck. Investigate and get captured. Seems to be in a tower. Not locked.
Ah, there you are. I trust you are restored. Are your quarters comfortable?
They are now. When I first woke up, I was in some kind of dungeon surrounded by weirdos. I was surrounded by men in cloaks. They had a knife. What on earth?
You might call it a trailer, my dear, as they say in the cinema. A preview of coming attractions. The Doctor is studying it now, you see. Very soon he will have to take action.
What kind of action?
He will come here to find you. To save you, if he can.
Where's here?
You are in the castle of Drakensberg, my dear. Hundreds of miles from Berlin. This castle was purchased by Himmler in person for the use of the SS. The castle tower, where we are now, is reserved for the members of the Black Coven, an inner elite group, the psychic shock troops of the SS.
All of this stuff, this high-tech equipment, is not from here and now, is it? Are you from another time? Another planet?
Both. We are the warlords. He's broken the receiving unit.
Ah, the Doctor grows impatient. It won't be long now.
What are you talking about? You said we were hundreds of miles from Berlin. The Doctor doesn't even know where I am or how to get here. And even if he did, he's not allowed to leave Berlin.
The answers to all those questions are in the Berlin office of the Aryan Bureau, where we first met, if you remember.
I remember.
Well, that is where the Doctor is now. I have great faith in his ingenuity. He will find the way. Of course, we mustn't make it too easy for him. That would spoil all the fun.
I don't think much of your idea of fun. Are you telling me you staged all that nasty business to make the Doctor think I was in danger?
We recorded it to distress him. But I'm afraid you really are in danger. The choosing is only a preliminary, but still an important ceremony in its own right.
What do you mean, ceremony?
Exactly what I say, my dear. The priest, in this instance myself, inspects the chosen one and finds her acceptable. In token of this, his knife takes a first taste of her blood. As I said, it is only a preliminary.
Preliminary to what?
To the great sacrifice, of course. A ceremony of dedication to the old Teutonic gods. You, my dear, are to be the traditional virgin sacrifice. I do hope you are qualified. It doesn't matter, of course. We won't let a mere technicality stand in our way. I made most of the sacrifice ritual up myself, but it impresses Himmler, and that's what matters. Time's getting on. I do hope the doctor won't be too long. I'd hate for him to miss your big moment.